what the system also tells us is that the powerful want to deny this system, right? Because if they control Earth, the fake world, they want to make it as real as possible. Does that make sense? That's the source of their power. The belief that the only thing that matters is the material world, the prison that we live in. And that's why we have science, right? Science is negation of the spiritual world and the validation of the material world. If you cannot see it, it must be fake, right? Okay? So that's how power works. Now, transgression works in this model because transgression allows the powerful to align to a certain part of this universe, okay? Because in this universe, there are evil forces as well. Does that make sense? So for example, the metaphor is, think of the internet, right? Well, there are millions and millions of websites. And through transgression, by doing the same evil act, what the powerful have done is they've locked onto the same website, right? And because they've locked on the same website, it allows for synchronicity. It allows for them to commit, to think alike and to behave the same way. Okay? All right, so that's the general theory. And again, this is all speculation. I'm not telling you this is true, but I'm giving you a framework to work with to better understand why things happen. We're just speculating. We're using our imagination here, right? I know there's a lot, but Kant, Plato, Hegel, Dante, we will go much more deeper into over the semester. I just introduced these ideas now. Okay, questions, guys? Okay, you had a question from last class, right? Right, so can you ask a question from last class and I'll answer it first?
All right, from last class, you mentioned that the ones that control society are those old pensioners, right? Because they get revenues from the youngers and they control the society. In our society, I do see signs or phenomena that the government are sort of helping the old pensioners by creating more, say, entertainment or facilities that benefit them. So why is that? Is it possible that the government also benefits from old pensioners' actions, or is actually the governments are controlled by old pensioners?
Yeah, I mean, we discussed this last class, but it's the pensioners, the old people who control society, control the culture, who control government, right? Because in China, from the first day, you're taught to respect your elders, right? You're taught that elderly people are worth emulating, they're worth studying from. They're what's most precious about our society. So it makes sense that the government would create policies to most benefit the elderly. Okay, that's just the structure of Chinese society. Respect for the elderly. Okay, thank you. Any more questions, guys? Yep. Ember has a question.
Okay. So I was just thinking about the model, and I think
the monad.
This model that we have on the board. So, like you said, the existence of evil is, if you don't mind repeating yourself.
Oh, yeah, so what is evil?
Yeah.
Okay, in the system. Mm-hmm. Okay, so in this system, what is evil is the denial of the system. Okay? So, because the monad is the truth, it's love, right? So the closer you move to the monad, that's what's good. The further you move away from the monad, that's what's evil, right? So at the very end of this model is Earth. So the more you embrace the material world, the more you deny the spiritual world, that's what's evil in this model.
Okay.
So for Plato, what's good is the pursuit of knowledge. And what's evil is the pursuit, the denial of knowledge, which includes, by the way, art, right? Movies. Because movies are just a shadow of the shadow world. If the world we live in is fake, and movies, all they do is depict this fake world, then it makes things worse. Okay? And Dante, whatever allows for more love is good. What allows for less love is bad. Okay?
So just to add on to that, so what if, like we mentioned earlier, sacrifice can be considered as a way to unite people. It creates cohesion.
Yeah.
And with cohesion...
It unlocks divine energy because you're accessing a part of this model.
Okay.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right?
So,
and that's why, as you're doing this sacrifice, they are worshiping a certain god. Right? So sacrifice is part of their religion. It's not done independently. They have a religious framework for the sacrifice, and that's why they do it. Right? They don't do sacrifice for the personal sacrifice. They do sacrifice as a consummation of their religion, because that's what their religion demands of them. Right? And because so they're worshiping a god, they're sacrificing these people to send to this god.
Okay.
Right? So they're accessing a part of this model, which is a lower part, okay? And there are evil beings in this model as well, right? But they go lower.
So by being evil or like doing the bad deeds, we get, as long as it creates love in Dante's theory, it gets us ultimately closer to the
monad, yes.
But the evil now that we perceive is constructed by our current society. So...
Yeah, so what Dante is saying about our current society is that our society is first and foremost anti-love. It does not allow for people to love each other. So for example, school, right? So without school, your parents would just care about your happiness. But because of school, parents care about your grades and whether or not you get into a elite American college and whether or not you get a good job. And so the parents deny your free will. They deny your agency. And as a result, you don't feel loved. Okay? So that's what Dante would argue. Our society is anti-love because the society is constructed in a way that does not allow for normal human relationships to flourish. Right? In a normal relationship, your parents would just let you do whatever you want. I would think, you know? But because they're like, no. If I let you do whatever you want, you will not do well in school, and you won't be able to get a job, and then you become, I don't know, unemployed and a drug addict. Who knows, okay? Right? That's how they think. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So the denial of free will is anti-love, and therefore it's evil, and it limits you from getting closer to monad.
That's right.
Okay, great.
Exactly. Thank you. Yep.